happening here. You're getting everyone to say the title of your movie, Maddie's Secret.
Yes. I had a dinner with the financiers, one of the financiers early on in the process before we even shot anything, and she toasted to Maddie's Secret. I was like, I cannot believe I've made a movie where I'm gonna make like journalists, say Maddie's Secret in all sincerity.
It's like a title that you made up, and all of a sudden it becomes real.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to.
It's such a juvenile title,
Is it?
Well. In the best way.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Fake
It's
movie.
like in a way that we've abandoned, as a
see.
culture. Like it's so direct.
Well, the title suits the film.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's like a Sweet Valley Twins book cover or something like that.
Exactly.
It could be called Fed.
Yeah. No, if it were made now, it would be called like Yummy or something. You know what I mean? Well, no, by the way, if it were made now, it was made now.
If you guys hadn't gone
But
back
that
to 1985 to make it.
didn't even register as a slip. It feels like from a different era.
But I want to be clear, and we will let you ask questions.
Okay.
Okay.
No, honestly, go. I'll put my mic down. You got this.
It is actually it's an homage to the film, and of course the title to the movie Kate's Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Meredith Baxter Byrne. It's a TV movie from the 80s about a bulimic housewife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you see that movie as a child?
That one I didn't see.
Okay.
The one that really stuck in my mind from childhood was Perfect Body with Amy Jo Johnson, where she plays a gymnast. And that was like in the height of like the 90s like gymnast craze, like the US Atlanta.
Dominic
Gymnastics.
Mucciano.
Yep.
Exactly. Dominic Mucciano, Dominic Dawes, Shannon Miller, Amy Chow.
The Magnificent Seven. He's going to go through the list.
And of course, Carrie Struck.
Obviously. Okay, so to rewind, the movie premieres last night in Toronto. Toronto audiences are famously just like on board. Like whatever you want to throw at them, they are going to be there for it. And this movie is not, as you well know, like the most obvious thing to be like, well, it's like very clear what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So seeing that with the crowd, seeing people get it, I assume,
Yeah.
like what was, having gone through the process of imagining this movie and now it's a reality, like what was it like for you guys just watching the audience get on board with Maddie's Secret?
Well, I always trusted the audience. Like I've always believed that there would be, no matter how extreme this movie is and how kind of melodramatic it is or how much it goes into like dark subject matter, I always have believed because there are actually so many movies like this, and this used to be a very like TV movies. They were the movies of the week. You used to watch them, with your family, like, or late night on TV, or even just movies like, Showgirls or Fatal Attraction, Single White Female. Like I think that still lives in us, even though we've kind of maybe moved on from that style of filmmaking, so I've always believed that people could handle the balance of tone, but I understood why going into it some people might be tepid, concerned that audiences would like be kind of arms crossed and like suspicious of me or something. But last night was very vindicating. I really felt like there was such warmth in the audience's response, and they, from the very beginning, you could hear people going, "Oh," like when Jake came on screen.
So sweet.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, how was it for you, Kate?
It was my first time seeing it, and so I was it was a very overwhelming experience. I was just so blown away by John's execution, and I just thought it was beautiful.
Wow. Yeah,
It was very moving to sit next to Kate because I've been spending a lot of time editing, and I've been so stunned by her performance, and I think it's such a beautiful, complete arc, and like there's so many shades of Dina, and Dina could have been such a caricature, but it's so like just like a childlike innocence in Dina that is like, I'm just amazed by it. So it was thrilling, and her mom plays.
My mom plays the receptionist who I flirt with.
Yes.
With the glasses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Her film debut, and
Film
she
debut.
wants
You
work.
really flirt hard with her.
I know.
I know.
How was
Sick.
that?
It's sick.
Really
John,
fun.
why did you make her do that?
I'm a sicko. Yeah.
I thought she killed it.
She was so amazing.
She wants work. So
Does she have an agent?
And
Do
she's
we
good.
put
No.
the information on the screen somewhere.
we got to get her agent.
I know.
Gotta get
We gotta
her
get
an
her
agent.
agent.
Yeah.
So I think of you guys as working in, as partners so often. Obviously, this is your movie in many ways, but so was it intentional to not show it to Kate? Did you want it to be a surprise for you? Like, how was...
I love that it was a surprise. It
Okay.
wasn't intentional.
Good.
It was kind of just...
It kind of
Well, it
was
kinda
intentional
was,
in that
yeah.
I just was like, I really don't want people to see this without color and sound.
Oh, sure.
And so I could have shown her an earlier cut, but I just was like, it's so brutal without the sound mix and stuff. So I was just like, I'd rather you just see it all.
It
fully.
was like it was such a magical experience for me. I'll cherish it truly.
Yeah. I mean, to rewind, you were talking about the financiers for this movie. Getting a movie made is incredibly hard. Any movie existing is a miracle. A movie like this existing seems like a double miracle in some ways because it's a lot to explain. It's a lot to get people on board with. And as we know, when the final product is there, everyone says, oh, yes, now I get it. But to explain that is so hard. So how did you get this movie to exist?
Well, it's really a miracle. I made this very, very quickly, like from conception to where we are now.
How long is it door to door?
Door to door.
Writing it. How long has it been?
I thought of the idea in February 2024. We shot it in February 2025.
Take that in.
And now
Thought of the idea, like not even a script, nothing.
Oh,
written
just
at
thought
all.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just
Yeah.
and you know, the real shock though to me was the financiers. It's because we were making it at a certain budget level.
Sure.
I will euphemistically say it was quite indie, but I will not say what the budget was.
Really? I feel like it's such a brag.
No, trust me, I want to brag
it's
about
a
it, but
huge
I've
flex.
been told not to
brag
brag.
Whatever
about
you're
how little
thinking,
you
go
spent on it?
lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm so proud of what we did, how lush and like cinematic it feels, given the fact that we were like flying by the seat of our pants
And shooting in John's house.
Yes.
That's my car. I mean, this was.
Yeah. It's just like
Is Maddie's house your house?
That's my house.
Great house.
Thank you. You know, we painted it. To be
How
clear,
did you keep it clean? Like, could you live in it at the end of the shoot? Like, that
it
seems
was.
so hard.
It was. I gotta say, it was hell.
Shooting there, the electrical system blew out his AC. He's been in the horrible summer.
LA heat wave without air conditioning because of the fucking movie. It's my idea.
I'm just imagining like you get up and you like make yourself a bowl of cereal and it's like shit, I gotta clean it.
No, oh my god. Well, they would be like, we're starting at 9 tomorrow. I was like, perfect. I can sleep in. And then 7 a.m. ding dong, the PA's there to set everything up. I was like, oh my god.
And you have
like,
no one to blame but yourself.
My making.
Yes.
Exactly, a prison of my own making.
Okay, so the financiers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
They got on board so quickly because I think, you know, we were making it at a low budget level. But I also think, I mean, you know, I'm tooting my own horn. Okay, look, I tried to make a script, a movie that was very propulsive and entertaining and like sincere and direct. And I do think that was a huge part of it, in that it was easy to read. It's a script that it's not a chore to read it because it's just like there's a cliffhanger at the end of each
like
scene.
a literal page turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like and the dialogue's very direct and simple. It's very like, I want this. Well, I want that. You know, like I think it's very like that's the genre, and the same way you can kind of consume kind of tawdry, cheap, melodramatic TV movies. I think it's also easy to read. It's salacious.
Yeah.
It's lurid, and so I think that's a huge part of it. And then I also think, you know, I'm a very sentimental person, and I think when I'm talking about the movie, I think they also when I spoke about it to the financiers, any fear they had about the subject matter and how I was going to treat it, I think
like whether
went
it
away.
would be like ironic and mean.
Yeah, exactly. I think they felt from the beginning that like it was very important to me that we like preserve Maddie's dignity and that like she's America's sweetheart and she's like so tender and sincere, and you know, and that's like the whole point of the movie. It's like I mean, there's a Maddie in all of us. There's an ingenue in all of us. You know, an innocent, open-hearted person in all of us that we've, you know, learned to bury.
So
I'm sorry.
So no, it's fine. Go again, you guys. I will put my mic down. We're good. But for you guys, when either of you are working on your own stuff, like at what point do you bring it to Kate, or Kate, do you say like, what, you know, you tell me when to show up and I'll be there? Like for as long as you guys have worked together, when do you come in on that process, knowing it's such a, you know, personal thing for John making this?
I feel like it's always sort of a constant conversation. Like it's just we're talking about it.
We always know what the other person's working on.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm working on, but no, but it's really true. And there's been in the last couple of years, because we collaborate so deeply, we have been kind of doing projects alone, and it's been really, or by alone I just mean separately, and it's been really fun to kind of then show each other what we're working on, and I'm always desperate for John's input, and it was, again, just to repeat what I said before, it was so exciting to watch it for the first time, and there were so many surprises and things. Of course, I knew in the script, but there was just nothing that could have prepared me.
Yeah.
Well, what Kate doesn't know, well, maybe you do know this, but Kate was, when I realized that Kate could be in this movie, was the same moment I realized that dance could be in this movie. Because I was like, I wrote the script entirely to the Shaft soundtrack. I would put on the Shaft soundtrack, smoke a little grass. I'm kidding. No, not. And I would just like write from that place. I don't know. I always wanted it to sound like Shaft.
So cool.
And of course I would listen to the Shaft soundtrack. Obviously I would want to dance, and I kept going, oh, it's such a shame that there can't be dance in this. I was like, that's too stylized. That's like Austin Powers. I was like, there can't be dance.
It can't be like a pastiche.
It can't. No, it can't be. It can't be stylized like a musical. I was like, the only way to do dance is if it were, justified like narratively.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, because all these eating disorder TV movies at one point, their health really has to be on the line. They have to come near death for them to finally go into treatment, and it is often around like an exercise class or something. That's the trope. And
well, there's like the Jamie Lee Curtis movie Perfect, like the
yes,
like intense hard
with
body
John
80s.
Travolta,
Yeah, like there's something to that like exercise class.
Yes.
Part of it.
Yes, and I was like, oh my God, it can be a dance class, and it can be a queer dance class.
Yeah, why a queer dance class? Just because it's modern day and
yeah, it felt like
it's a real thing in LA.
That is a real thing. There's a lot of this kind of like, there's like a queer gym there, and there's like a lot of queer dance classes. I don't know. That's just something I noticed, and it felt like a way to kind of bring it into contemporary life, make it less 80s
and make
today.
Maddie feel like belonging but standing out. Like,
yes,
yeah.
And it provides one of the biggest laughs of the whole movie.
Which is what?
An LA,
oh.
just an LA.
Oh yeah, yeah. What is it? Yeah.
As an ally. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember, but yeah. And I just thought it was so funny, the idea of this kind of like blonde girl, like this blonde straight girl, like walking into this like queer dark forest, and being like it feeling so exotic to her, and like, but that's where Kate entered my imagination as a writer. It was living in that world, and it was really cracking me up. So I have Kate to thank for the gift of dance.
But would you really have ever made the movie without her? Like, it doesn't feel like
no.
Yeah,
no,
the idea of you making a whole movie and not finding a way to come back together feels impossible.
But it just, it's like characters were coming in like one by one, and she just wasn't in there yet. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you said you had the idea of February 2024, what was the idea? Did it start with food blogger? Did it start with melodrama? Like, what was the beginning?
The idea was like, make a movie with my friends really fast.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I want to play an ingenue, but in contemporary life.
Yeah.
Like I thought it would be very funny if I were talking about things that are in contemporary life, like millennial chili crisp brands, like Fly by Jing, or like Hulu, Netflix. If I were saying these things in the style, like with the kind of cadence of a 50s melodrama. That was really making me laugh. But there was no story. It was just that. And
it was always like a feature. Like you guys have made so much of your own like film projects, but like a full feature film. Was that something you had kind of always thought you would build your way to eventually?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's where it was more of a kind of rhythm and a performance instinct that started it. And then from there, I was like, okay, well, who's the ingenue of today? And to me, that's like the kind of Bon Appetit girls that I worship.
Is that how Condé Nast became the parent company of, oh my God, the food company?
Gourmet Bee.
Yeah, Gourmet.
Yeah, it's so inconsistent.
Forget Gourmet Bee.
So thank you. There's like fake names and real names, but I kind of love that. But yeah, I was like, these food girls are like my favorite prince. I'll play a food girl. And then it was like, well, the kind of demands of the genre, there has to be like a dark secret. And so it was like, if it's a food girl, what would be the kind of shadow side of the food girl?
Yeah.
It's, a kind of sublimated eating disorder. And yeah.
I mean, that idea of making a film with your friends really, really fast, it's like kind of the basis of like 90s indie movies. And I think if you ask people who live in LA, especially making a movie in LA, they'll be like, it's impossible. The money's not there. No one believes in it. You can't get a deal. clearly it is possible because this movie exists, but like, how is it feeling to both of you guys? You've both made a lot of projects with your friends on your own terms. This was able to exist. Like, can more things like this exist? Is it as hard as everyone says? If Maddie's Secret,
I
can
think
happen?
it is hard. I mean, I think it's like the vision. I mean, it's possible, but it is hard. I just mean like the labor of just like actually doing it, like what John did, actually putting the pen to the paper, figuring it out. I mean, people will do anything to avoid it. People, including me. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
me too, most of the time.
it's just so hard.
Yeah. But I do think when we were the crew, when we were making it, they were like, "Thank you so much for shooting this in LA." I was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah. It is funny. Like, I feel like I work more in New York, even though we live in the like birthplace of film. It's so bizarre.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
So
like you
tragic
only
and
shoot in
crazy.
LA, I guess, if you're in like gigantic movies or something.
Like a sound. Yeah,
But
it
even
feels-
that, it's like, no,
or if
you
you're
do
on
that in
Matlock
Atlanta.
or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
This Is Us or something.
It's very strange.
well, you guys were shooting after the wildfires too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
So
was
people were so glad to be able
Immediately.
to be home.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that was true. People were looking for work for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point where someone was like, if you filmed this in Vancouver, you could save 25% on your tiny budget?
Well, there was a chance of like, well, couldn't she be in New York? I mean, Bon Appetit's in New York, but to me, like, it always had to have the kind of like
The
this like
lighting.
the lighting. She had
Mhm.
to be like an LA light girl, a golden hour girl, and
Yeah.
also it had to have this kind of in like a Tennessee Williams way. It had to have this like lush, pornographic, tropical plant life. You know,
mhm.
like. Yeah, you know,
There's
like
an
the sweaty
anxiety.
Tennessee like streetcar thing, you know,
And the anxiety that's in the movie. There are parts that really made me anxious, like
in an LA way.
her like in your kitchen
Yeah.
when the only just illuminated by the fridge light and the kind of loneliness of LA.
Ooh, wait.
Totally.
Okay, I want to know what the loneliness of the fridge light feels specifically LA about it, because I think I know what you mean, but like, what
I
is
guess
that
you're
LA
right.
anxiety?
It's not. It's so because it's so site specific of John's kitchen that I know is in LA. I'm like, it just couldn't not be. But the fridge light's universal. But but the way the movie is lit so astonishingly, if I may, it is sunset. It is like that chemical color thing.
There's like a striving thing too, to like as someone who doesn't live in LA, but like that everyone's trying to make it. And like what's lovely about Maddie and like the context of this movie is she's not someone who's like in there to make it at all costs. Is not trying to get a bunch of follows. Like there's this really interesting way to put that character in this world where
It's
everyone
John.
is trying to. Is that you? Is that you
Yes.
not trying to get 10 million TikTok followers?
Yeah, I mean, what I love about Maddie is, or I really felt it last night actually, because I've been watching season 2 of America's Sweethearts, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Have you seen season 2?
Yeah, sweetie.
Okay, just making sure. But like, there is a kind of real, I won't say who, but there is a prominent character, real person in season 2, who is kind of the dream. So obviously, we're talking about the dream has kind of been implanted in her.
Oh.
It doesn't seem like something she's organically wants.
It's killing her.
And it's killing her. And there's a real like ambivalence and I thought that was really interesting about Maddie, that she doesn't really want it. Like that scene where we're in the dance class and you're like, yeah.
My favorite moment.
But when it's the earlier dance scene when I'm like, yeah, it all sounds so cool and elevated. She's like trying to convince herself that she cares about these things in LA and this career path. But I think she actually does, despite all of her dark stuff around food. She also has, and this is very important to me, she also has a very sincere relationship to food, and she is good.
Yeah.
And she does, at the end of the movie, she gets back to a healthy, artful, generous relationship
And
to
she's
food.
good at what she does.
Yeah, and people are like, damn, yeah. And it's like, it's not, and it's actually for her like an art and not about fame,
And does that feel like how you feel about comedy or film or something? Like, is there a direct metaphor there for you in approaching this career?
I mean, there's certainly some similarities. I mean, I sure, yeah. I mean, I think both of us sometimes it's just like, from when we started in the 80s.
He's joking for those at home. We're young.
From when we started, it's actually changed so much. Like, it's changed so quickly. Like, when we started, this is so funny to feel nostalgic about this, but it was literally like sketches on Vimeo that were 12 minutes. And that actually felt like artful.
Did you guys have like a Vimeo show or
Yeah.
like I feel like
We
you guys
did
have all worked for like
555.
every streamer or it's like there's like every version
Right
of television.
before
We've
they
been passed
crashed.
around.
Yeah. We were
Yeah.
we're famously the first and last original content Vimeo funded. They were like, let's try this. We did it, and they're like, JK. But yeah, I mean, and then suddenly it's like, as we've persisted in the industry, like it's all now kind of on the phone and it's front facing, and I think both of us sometimes feel this like,
Which is why the movie was made.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because
totally.
it was so direct and immediate, and you didn't have to wait for 10 goddamn years.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun when you're just working within the friend group that makes you laugh the hardest.
And it's sincere in a way that it feels like a lot of times the like direct to video. It's like hard. It's hard to do that in a 10-second video. And if you make a full movie,
Completely.
you can create this world and be the ingenue and be
Yes.
sincere in a way that feels like it's losing in some way.
Yes. Yeah. The sheer like commitment to playing her for that long, I figured something. It really was an experiment. I really did not know if it was possible to achieve the tone that was like kind of vaguely in the distance. I couldn't, I knew there was potentially something very compelling and kind of dream-like that could occur if we just kept committing.
Yeah.
And I do think it happens.
It
Something magical
worked.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It transforms. It starts as this like kind of like fairy tale, and then it like peels back and becomes something like really kind of like brutal and like human, and then by the end, to me, like the last few scenes have this like uncanny quality of just being kind of like quiet and real. And if you think about where the movie starts, it's
Yeah,
like,
and there's room for like fly-by-jing jokes in the middle of all of that.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for making this movie and
Thank
for coming by to talk
you.
about it. Thank you everybody for watching. Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you so much for having us at the Ankler. And I called it the Antler earlier. And I'm sorry.